What happens when you've always had natural talent? What happens when you've never had to lock in on anything in your life? What happens when you've always had everything handed to you and now you have nothing? Hello, my name is Alex, and this is the kind of situation that I'm currently in. And you can say boo hoo or cry me a river, but this is my first time living on this earth, too. And I know it sounds like I'm saying that my life is hard now because my life has been easy. And that's exactly what I'm saying. I've always been a popular kid. I've always been athletic and good at sports. Schoolwork always came easy to me. I've never really had to study that hard, not even in college. Getting internships and jobs were pretty easy for me always. And I like to think that I'm somewhat attractive, so, growing up, getting girls was not that hard for me. And both of my folks are in the medical field. My dad's a doctor. So I grew up upper middle class. My first car was a Honda Civic. My second car was a BMW 3 Series. We did well. I did well. I went to an accredited university. I was in a frat. I've been living my life on easy mode. Like my preset loadout was pretty darn good. And I could always get away with doing the bare minimum and then getting pats on the back for it. Getting pats on the back for doing a good job. And I'm really good at pretending like I'm doing the right things. I'm really good at, showing the world what it wants to see of me. And now, like at the age of 23 years old, after living a life of never having to lock in, and not even learning how to lock in, now I need to lock in, for lack of a better term. The competition has become more fierce. Women's standards are higher. My parents' generosity does not extend to a grown ass man like me. And because I'm not a professional athlete, my ability to shoot a basketball or hit a tennis ball isn't very valuable to society. Perhaps I'm your typical peaked in high school guy, but I don't know. I'm not asking anyone to feel bad for me, but I am seeking direction. I know I have to sculpt my body and harden my mind and make my own money. I know I have to lock in, and I feel like I'm the hare in the tortoise and the hare, folktale. I was born with a head start, with natural talents and favorable attributes that I took for granted, and now everyone seems to have caught up or even are ahead of me. And like I said, I'm not asking for pity. This is my first time experiencing life, and I guess this is a novel experience. Playing sports, obviously I had competition, yeah. And there's been things in my life that I've had to lock in on, but not like this. And I know this is my reality, and I know that it's time to lock in now. And I hope that I can reinvent who I am. It's not going to be some rags to riches story, but that was never going to be my story. And I still got time. I can still make something of myself and for myself. I can still create good art and contribute something positive to the world. I can still make something and call it mine. And I have every intention of doing so. Watch me.